Hello. Today I'm going to attempt a talkthrough of Prasanna Seshadri's Checkered Fillomino. But before we do so, I've got a question to ask. We see here we've got a grid divided into regions, and they're colored black and white such that no two regions that share a border have the same color. Let's just start somewhere and walk around and go back to where I started. Interesting. When I went back to the square I started on, I ended up on the same color that I started on. Additionally, I see that every time I changed color, I crossed over a border. Since I ended up on the same color that I started with, that can only mean I crossed over an even number of borders. In particular, notice that for any internal vertex, there will be an even number of borders, either 4, or 2, or 2 in an L shape, or none at all. With this theorem in mind, we can attempt to solve Prasanna Seshadri's excellent puzzle. But first, let's cue up some inappropriate music. Since this puzzle involves black and white, how about we play some music about color? That should be relatively inappropriate. So, how do I adjust the size of this? Oh, that's how. So, here's where I start. Obviously, we can solve the one, and the other one, the other one. This is standard Fillomino logic. If you've never solved Fillomino, then you probably don't know why I'm doing this border around the one thing. If you have solved Fillomino before, then good for you. Also, I see that this 2 has to extend into this region because that's how 2's work. And then, in order to have an even number of vertex, see this vertex, we've got a wall here, and a non-wall here. So we have to have that because of the checkerboard rule. And the 7 has to expand to that because of the 7 rule. You know, any region with the 7 has 7 cells, that's the 7 rule. And that 4 goes there, and no matter which way it goes, we draw boundaries there. This 4 goes there, and 5 goes there. 6 goes there. Next, if these 7s get separated, then this 5 is choked off. So these 7s form one big region. And by the checkerboard rule, we can draw lines across all these. Because if we were to have a boundary anywhere, that would not be too colorable. So we've solved the 6th region as well. And we have to keep these 6s away from each other, because that's how Fillomino works. And this vertex here, it's got 3 walls, so we need a 4th wall. And then this 5 can't go to this cell, because then we'd have 5s on opposite sides of the walls. So it goes there. Then we have a wall here, and a wall here. This 2 cannot go down, because then this vertex would violate the rules that we've already set out. So to solve the vertex, we do that. And these can't have a wall there because we'd have adjacent 1, so these. And then the 3s can't be sucked up there. Also, this 2 goes away from here. And again, the even vertex rule dictates these connections. Trying to remember what I did next. The 3 can't go down here because this vertex is odd. Same deduction we did here. So now this 3 can't be cut off from the bottom, because then that would be impossible. So we solved this 4. Similarly, this 3 can't go over here. because that vertex is illegal. So we've solved a couple of 3's, and then we deal with some vertexes. That's a 1, that's a 5, and cut that off. And then these, hopefully I don't have to explain as much of this, because I've already explained the theorem 1,000 times. Every vertex will have an even number of walls, so hopefully some of this is somewhat elementary. Oh yeah, and I can do that. Now watch what happens if these 6's don't connect. They could connect. What happens if they don't? This 6 goes here, and that goes there. Then the 5's are choked off. So we've got 5 6's, and similarly, if these 5's don't go together, then we choke off the 6. Okay, my inappropriate music ended, but I'm not gonna bother with more music. Just gotta talk. What happens if this 5 goes up here? Then by the even vertex rule, we have all that. But then we have 7 6's. So by the even vertex rule, we get the 4 is solved like that, and the 5 is solved like that, and the 6 is solved like that. And then this vertex needs an even number, this vertex needs an even number. These two can't both be 6's, because then they'd be separated there to avoid touching that 6, and we have an odd vertex. So this 6 can't go past there or to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't use all 5 of these cells. So 5, 6. Got that? The 6 is forced to expand to this cell, which solves these 5's. And this vertex and this vertex. And then by regular Fillomino logic, that can't be a 1, so it's sucked up. Then this vertex and this vertex. And this vertex and this vertex. And the 6 is done. And this vertex. And then this can't be a 1. So these are joined. These are separated. And this vertex. And this vertex. And this vertex. Then we can't have this be a 6, so these expand into this cell. Then this vertex. And then these have to be separated, and this can't be a 3 omino because it touches a 3. And this vertex does that. And then these have to separate for this vertex. And this vertex requires that. And there we go. We have solved the Fillomino. I'll even take the time to color it to prove it. But we've solved it. And this was much closer to 5 minutes than the last one. So hopefully Thomas Snyder should be very proud of how I've matured as a talk-througher. Yeah, let's just color these in. I hope I didn't go too fast for you and confuse you, because I really tried to explain the basic two-color theorem as much as I could beforehand. But look, we did it. So the answer key is 6, 11, 11, 11, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3, 4, and then 1, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. There you go. Now you know how to cheat at Fillomino. Yeah, that was 9 minutes. That was much closer to 5. But I guess I better stop recording.